Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 11 Digital Daily Chat. It is hot as hell up here today, so let's get through this. Our house guests of the day are Donnie Greenwell and Bruce Mollenhoff. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much, so thank you again. If you guys are watching this and you want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. All right. We have some really crazy stuff to talk about today. But first, let's just see where we're at. When we left off yesterday, Kuzi is the HOH, and she's planning on making a big move. She was talking about putting up Santina and Ty. Ty is her number one target. And you may be thinking, like, why would she not try to backdoor him? Why is she giving him a chance to play for the veto? She doesn't want to risk the backdoor. She's worried something weird could happen with the veto. You never know if, like, say Ty wins the veto and leaves nominations the same if he's not on the block. Or if you only put up either Santina or Ty and the other one wins the veto and saves the person on the block, you're going to be in trouble. So she's like, you know what? Best case for me, just put both of them up there. If I don't get one, I get the other. So the crowd is not totally united on this move. Hope is trying to convince Kuzi to target Teen Girl Squad, the girly pops. I don't think Kuzi likes that because she's already got her suspicions that Ty and Santina and Hope are working together. So Hope defending Santina and Ty, not a good look to Kuzi. But who knows if these nominations are even going to come into play because we've got the Fatal Feast twist this week. We don't know what the deal is with that. I do have some more info on that in today's update, but like we don't know exactly how that's going to play out. In other news, we also saw Ty trying to put together his little trio with Santina and Hope. Mixed reactions to that. I think Santina is open to whoever wants to work with her at this point. Hope is saying, like, I don't want to work with that guy. I don't have anything going on with him. But, like, he is trying to keep Ty close just in case it's going to help him at some point. But, of course, he's saying, like, I'm loyal to the crown. I'm loyal to the crown. Yes. So I want to thank also before we get going here on today's Digital Daily, Jody Cortez, thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate that. And shout out to Mom in the chat. Today's daily was absolutely nuts. Oh my goodness. I was not prepared for this today. It was just such a different vibe. Like, I have to say, this season has been delivering. And each time we get one of these crazy digital dailies, it just bums me out even more that we don't have live feeds this season because it really has been an outrageous season. And I wish we could have seen everything play out in real time. So today's Digital Daily is covering yesterday in the BB house, day 42. And it started really ominously, like with a few moments of silence. And the girly pops looked pissed. They were all hanging out like in the living room, and Claudia was like upstairs, like talking to them when they were talking. And it was wild. Claudia eventually says there are 6 people in that library right now. They've been in there for over an hour. They should have gone through all the books by now. So maybe they didn't find anything. Wait, why is everyone else in the library except for the girly pops? Like, why are they not in there? Is this part of the Fatal Feast? Like, what's going on? We can hear muffled voices in the background, presumably from the library. And it sounds like they're having a great time, having a lot of fun, doing whatever they're doing. Yeah, the girls sitting around the house really did make me angry at everybody else too. Like, even if you're not a fan of the girly pops, I felt so bad for them because it's not fair that they didn't get to participate in this. And we're going to talk about it more. So Claudia says this situation is making her really mad, but she's not going to let it make her feel any other way. She says it seems like every time we keep someone, they prove to us why we shouldn't have. Oh, did Hope do them dirty somehow? I mean, technically they voted Hope out, but he still stayed. But yeah, Hope, we'll get into it, but they're not happy with Hope. And Claudia she's feeling some type of way. She's upset and she's like, how nice would it be to take everyone's shit right now and throw it in the middle of the room? You know, just like throw it from the balcony or whatever. Well, it turns out that Hope was guarding the door so that they could not get into the library and look for stuff with everybody else. That is messed up. They feel like they're definitely on the outs right now. I mean, everybody else is in there except for them. And they're wondering, like, last week, were they supposed to just roll over and let Renee go? Were they just supposed to go along with that and lose one of their own? What the hell? So, Claudia is like, maybe, this could be good for us. She goes and she searches for clues in the Circle K room while everybody else is doing their thing. She comes up empty. She didn't find anything. And then she was like, I should have just hid all the snacks over there so like nobody else could get them. So Shania says, you know what? It's really funny how Ty was so butthurt over a letter. Remember Hope's Lettergate? But the first chance that he gets to play dirty, he takes it. And she's like, honestly, it was never about cheating or playing fair in that whole situation with Ty. It's because his friend was on the block and he wasn't getting his way. So he was trying to like play dirty himself to blow things up there. Yeah. And then Shania is trying to stay hopeful. She says, maybe Big Brother put the other house guests up to this to like make us feel left out. And then we're gonna get a party later because they completed the challenge. That's so sad. And Claudia's like, I don't think so. Me neither. Okay, so they're like stewing for the first 43 minutes of the Digital Daily. And then finally, Kuzi and Daniel emerge from the library. They're trying to gather together the Teen Girl Squad, get them to come into the library because Kuzi was saying there's something in there for all of us. But Teen Girl Squad is pissed, and rightfully so. Claudia is telling them, like, imagine how we feel. We're the only three that were left out of that whole thing. We don't know what's going on in there. They were literally all three of them trying to push on the door, and Hope was leaning on it so that they couldn't get in. So Daniel is telling Claudia, oh, we weren't trying to lock you guys out. We were trying to find a power. We had to beat them to it. I'm assuming them means Ty and Santina. He's saying we didn't want them to get it. Sounds like yes to me. I mean, I'm sure he did not want Ty and Santina to get anything, but then why leave out the girls too? Like, that's messed up. Especially once they figured out that it wasn't for a power. Because the situation, they were actually putting puzzle pieces together, and then they got the invitation to the Fatal Feast as a result, as far as we know. So this was supposed to be like a group activity for the whole house to share together to get that invitation for the Fatal Feast. So like Mom was saying, like Big Brother, I feel like should have stepped in at one point and been like, hello, let them in. This is supposed to be for everyone. But they didn't do that. So again, Kuzi's telling them like there's something in the library for all of us, and Claudia says it's effed up. And Daniel apologizes. He's like, yeah, it sucks. I feel bad for you guys. Does he really? Because he was like laughing about it later with some other people that were in the room, and it doesn't seem like he really felt that bad. So yeah, Shania does not really want to go in the library in this moment. She doesn't want to be in the same room with all those people that wouldn't let them in there. She says it's a really dirty way to play. So eventually, Teen Girl Squad does join the library, and Daniel's saying, you guys do have the right to be upset. And it sounds like Anika and Daniel are trying to play it off like, oh, we thought it was going to be a secret power. But it really turns out we just had to solve this puzzle for a secret party. And the party that they're referring to is the Fatal Feast. They don't know exactly what it is yet, but they know they're getting some sort of like a meal. And I think they're thinking it's going to be like a classic BBCan like pizza party or whatever, and they get like the pitchers with the beer, one of those. But this is so different. Yeah, right. I love how everyone is apologizing when it doesn't cost them anything. These apologies, I'm sorry, would mean pretty much nothing to me if I were Teen Girl Squad, the Girly Pops, because it's already done. Like, there's no taking back what they did. It was shitty, and that's just something that they're going to have to keep in the bank for later and remember how things went down. So we didn't get to hear more of this conversation in the library. We had a little scene change. Oh, man. So then Kuzi and Anika are talking to Claudia in the Flamingo room. And Anika's like, we didn't want Santina to be in there in the first place, blah, blah, blah. So Anika is going through the chain of events. She says, it was me, Daniel, and Hope in the library first, and we didn't want to let anyone else come in. We just wanted it to be us three. So then apparently Ty came in. He like forced his way in. Then Santina was trying to come in, and she's like, Hope let him in, or Hope let Santina in for some reason. Like, I wasn't in control of the door, so it wasn't my fault. And Daniel was also like, I wasn't by the door either, so like it wasn't me. He said that later. So then when it comes to Kuzi, she's like, we let Kuzi in because she's HOH, like it wouldn't matter anyway. I mean, if it was a secret power, she still could have gotten it, even though she's the HOH, I'm sure. The logic here is flawed. And you can't tell me, and Renee brought this up later, you can't tell me that they wouldn't have let Kuzi in anyway, even if she wasn't HOH. Come on. So Anika says, you know what, in hindsight, we should have just let you guys in the room at that point, since there were 6 people in there. And she's like, I want you to know that this is not like a divide in the house. It's not like you guys against everybody else. Come on. I mean, it's true. It's not Ty, Santina, and the Crown versus the girly pops, but like it looks really bad. So Claudia's like, yeah, I believe you, but it didn't feel good. She doesn't actually believe this, right? Please tell me she's just saying this because she's keeping in mind that Kuzi is HOH, so she doesn't want her group getting in any trouble with the HOH, right? I mean, that's got to be it. So Daniel and Santina are then chatting alone, and Daniel is filling Santina in on what they're telling the girls. And this is where he's like kind of laughing about it, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. So Santina's wondering if those puzzle pieces are maybe a clue to anything else besides the dinner. Maybe there is a secret power or something. Maybe there's something more. They don't know. But Daniel says he is nervous about this feast. Good. I wouldn't mind seeing Daniel leave during this feast, honestly. Daniel or Anika, like, or Hope, like, I can't. So then Claudia's talking to Hope in the library, and you can see when she goes in there, the puzzle pieces are all laid out on the pool table, what they were working on. And Claudia is apologizing to Hope. She's like, I'm sorry for what I said earlier. I was heated in the moment. You guys wouldn't let us in the room. And I'm sorry that I brought Jonathan into it. Apparently she said something to Hope like, oh, I hope Jonathan is proud of you now, for leaving them out of the room. I think it was justified. I mean, come on. It's kind of bugging me how much she's apologizing to Hope when Hope was the one who was crappy in the situation. But Claudia says, imagine how you would feel if you were locked out, and everybody else was in there. So again, she's apologizing for bringing Jonathan into it. Girl, stop apologizing. Come on. So Hope is like, well, Anika told me to lock the door. I'm sorry. What you said is right. And he's like, I want you to know there are sides in the house right now, and I'm not sure which side I really land on. That's BS. And he said, by me holding the door, I thought that would help me get in good with one of the sides. And I didn't really think about how holding the door would hurt you guys. So again, Claudia is playing nice. She's like, I get it. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. I feel so bad that I brought Johnny into the situation. And she says everybody just needs time to cool down because it was very upsetting. So then there were more explanations throughout this digital daily about like why things happened the way they did, going through the whole chain of events over and over and over. And it comes out that Anika was saying basically they had agreed if anybody had found a secret power, they were going to give it to Daniel since he was in there first. Screw that. Whoever finds the power gets the power. Are you kidding me? But it also turns out, it sounds like the feast, the fatal feast, was going to be Friday night, last night. Oh. So it said something in the invitation like the bigger the feast, the higher the cost. I don't know how this is going to go down. But at one point during all these explanations, Santina asks Renee, are you okay? And Renee said, that's a joke, right? And this like launches this whole thing. Renee makes it known that these explanations and these apologies are not cutting it for her. What happened is not cool. And she's bringing up how last week everybody reacted after she came off the block and Jonathan went up. And that paired with this situation is just making it even worse. So she was really not happy with how things went down. And Shania started crying. She's like, I feel so embarrassed. I think it was affecting her the most out of the trio of girls being left out. And yeah, I mean, everybody's just going around and around with these explanations and these apologies. And Nika's like, going forward, I'm going to be more mindful of how you feel. Yeah, I'm so sure. So then Renee and Kuzi have a chat in the HOH bathroom. They're talking about last week because, again, there was more discussion about how the girls felt ostracized after that POV ceremony. And Kuzi's like, look, I was telling Shania if she was going to use that POV, use it with your whole chest, use it with your whole heart. Like, do it. Just do what you got to do. And Renee's like, yeah, but after the reaction, when Johnny went up on the block, it seemed like he was already gone and everybody had already decided he was going. So I feel like if I stayed up on that block, I definitely would have been leaving against Hope. So Kuzi reveals some interesting info here. She's like, I told Jonathan last week that I was voting to keep him, and he told me he was ready to go. So that explains why there was that like sudden flip last week, because it seemed so certain that Johnny was going to be staying over Hope, right? All the votes were there. It seemed like it was going to be unanimous, except for maybe Santina. And then out of nowhere, the next day, suddenly Johnny is going. So we were all like, what? So apparently he asked them to vote him out because he wanted to leave without causing a commotion. That is so disappointing to me because there was still a lot of game left for him to play. I guess maybe he just like couldn't deal with all the backstabbing involved in this game. But like we're like a few weeks away from the finale here. You couldn't hang in there for a few more weeks. Like what? So it's disappointing. But it also explains what happened last week. So I'm glad we got some clarity there. But they talk about the game moving forward. I mean, Kuzi is HOH this week. She holds some power. So Renee brings up how it looks like there's 3 trios right now. And this is, this has been a big discussion so far this week. You've got Kuzi, Anika, and Daniel. You've got the 3 girls, the girly pops, and you have what looks like Santina, Ty, and Hope. But people are missing that Hope is a part of the crown with Kuzi, Anika, and Daniel. So yeah, they're missing that important part, but it's making everybody group together, Santina, Ty, and Hope. So Renee's like, I don't feel so good about that trio. I can't trust Santina. I don't think I can beat the guys in competitions. So they're talking about, going to the final 6 with the girly pops, Kuzi, Anika, and Daniel, and just getting rid of that other trio. So Kuzi's asking, what should I do this week? Like, what would you support? What would you be comfortable with? So Renee suggests targeting Santina. I think she's assuming that Kuzi would not want to go after Ty because the girly pops don't realize that that's what Kuzi wants to do. But Renee is like, I don't know who you would put up next to Santina. I don't know, like one of us girls. And Kuzi's like, no. So again, Renee is pushing that Teen Girl Squad, the girly pops, want to work with Kuzi's trio. And Kuzi's like, yeah, but it's making me a little nervous that you guys didn't seem very happy when I won HOH. I'm going to have to talk to Shania because she wasn't like even smiling at all. So I need to know what's going on there. So Kuzi tells Renee, you have no reason to doubt me. I want all of us to have a fair chance, meaning take out Santina, Ty, and Hope. And we don't need to fight right now. Our groups don't need to go after each other because that's exactly what that other trio wants. So then Kuzi and Claudia chat, and this is very similar to the chat that Kuzi just had with Renee. Kuzi keeps saying, you girls are justified in how you feel about the whole library situation and being left out of that. That's not cool. That's not okay how it went down. And of course, Claudia is saying like, I get it. It's fine. It's all good. So then Claudia brings it back to this week. She's asking Kuzi, how do you feel? Like, do you know what you're going to do? And Kuzi's like, yeah, I pretty much know what I want to do. But again, it's stressing me out that, you girls weren't happy about me winning HOH. I've given you guys no reason to think that I'm coming after you, right? I didn't go after you my last HOH, and I've told you I want an even playing field. And Claudia says, yeah, I want that too. So then Kuzi brings up, well, Ty told me that when he was HOH last week, you were hinting that he should put me up on the block. Oh, and we know Claudia was absolutely pushing for him to target Kuzi and her group. So Claudia's claiming, no, I never said that. You know, we talked through every option, but I never said that you should go up on the block. And Claudia says, I want the 6 of us to work together. Girly Pops, Kuzi, and Nika Daniel. So Kuzi is asking, again, what move can I have your full support on this week? What would you be okay with me doing? And Claudia says, I honestly would like to see Ty go. But if that's not what you want to do, I'm also cool with Santina leaving as well. And she says, I have your back if that's what you want to do. Either one of those. So that was that. It ended after that conversation. And then there were no nominations yet. And it didn't seem like they would be doing nominations before the Fatal Feast. The Fatal Feast, as far as I know, was supposed to be happening last night. So that could mean someone's gone already in real time. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get a digital daily on Monday or Tuesday. I mean, if somebody's already gone and we're not going to see that on the show until Tuesday, there's a good chance we're not getting a digital daily Monday or Tuesday. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll see. I don't know. We don't know how this Fatal Feast is going to work. So it's hard to tell what the next few days are going to be looking like. I'm excited though to find out. This daily though was a freaking wild ride. Oh my goodness. So thank you all so much for watching. I mean, I'm happy that Renee was standing up for herself too. I totally agree. I hope it's not going to come back to bite her because some of those things needed to be said. Mom says she hopes it's Daniel or Anika leaving from the Fatal Feast. I could get down with that. I do not like the way that they handled this situation. It was not cool. And they were just like smug about it. Ugh. So let us know in the comments who you would like to see leave from the Fatal Feast. And we'll be back next time there's a digital daily, whenever that is. So, or an episode. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time. And until then, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye.